Hi everyone. Welcome back to Living with Anxiety, Panic, and PTSD. I'm Enrique. I'll be your host. And this video is another one in our series of building support systems. And the focus will be on having conversations with our younger children. Uh, I have a very special guest today. I'll go ahead and let him introduce himself.
Hi, my name is Enrique. I am 9 years old, almost 10.
Nice, almost 10. You're a big boy, right?
Yeah.
So, you know Daddy gets sick sometimes, right? Daddy's not feeling well. Do you know this?
Yes, I do.
Do you know what it is?
Mental sickness,
Sometimes.
probably.
Yeah, mental sickness. What do you think it means?
They get sick sometimes.
Mm. And do you ever notice when Daddy gets sick?
No,
No? So,
no, I do not.
okay, that's pretty good then. So, you know, Daddy lives with anxiety, right? And let's talk about that for a minute. Do you know what anxiety is?
Is where you fear something, but is it gonna happen?
Mm, kind of, you're pretty close. So, it's sort of like being worried a lot, right? And everybody gets worried, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you live with anxiety, you're worried all the time, right? About every little thing. And it turns out that most of those worries aren't actually real.
I have this much anxiety.
You have that much anxiety? How much do you think Daddy has? You're pretty close. Um, and and then there's the panic part, right? So we have anxiety, which is the worry about stuff. And then there's panic. Do you know what panic is?
I don't know
You
what
don't
panic
know?
is.
Okay. So let's talk about it a little bit. So, what are you really afraid of?
Spiders
Spiders
and scorpions
and scorpions. So, if you walked into a
and
room
monsters on TV.
and monsters on TV, that's pretty. I think a lot of people are scared of monsters on TV.
Yeah.
So you walked into a room and let's say there was a big spider in that room. How do you think you would feel?
I would feel I will feel scared and I'll leave that room quickly.
Right. So you feel really scared and you leave the room quickly. So that's a lot like what panic is. So when Daddy faces panic, um, I get really scared that something bad is happening to me, right? And I don't get to control that. Much like when you see a spider, right? You don't
Mm-hmm.
get to control how scared you are. You just are. And so when Daddy faces panic, I get this really big fear of dying or or that something's really wrong and there's nothing I can do about it because the fear is here in my head, right? I'm not walking into a room, it's just with me.
I believe everybody has a fear of dying.
You think so?
Yes.
You could be right. Um, but when that fear gets really big, right,
Yeah.
then it becomes a panic attack. And what happens in a panic attack is, you know, that he has trouble breathing and I feel really bad. Like I don't want nobody near me and I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to be touched by anybody. And I really just want to be alone and I want to survive. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So, what do you think of those things? Like, what do you think of anxiety and what do you think of panic?
I think they're bad.
You think they're bad?
Yeah.
Well,
I have I have anxiety about movie animatronics because I believe that they hug people in the movies and then they squeeze them so hard that they explode.
to explode? Yeah, that could probably produce some anxiety. Um, if you see daddy worried about something, what do you think you should do?
So on the couch.
Sit on the couch?
Yes.
What if you see daddy panicking about something? What do you think you should do? It's okay if you don't
I
know.
should Sit on the couch.
Sit on the couch again? Okay. Well, those are two pretty good responses. Like right now, we can sit next to each other and hug each other and talk and everything, right?
Yeah.
And everything's cool. Um, and you know, it's really hard for daddies and mommies to tell their babies, "Hey, I don't feel good." You know why?
Why?
Well, because daddies and mommies want to be the strong people. They want they want their babies to look at them and say, you know what? No matter what is happening in the world right now, I could turn around and know that daddy and mommy are good with it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Does that make sense to you?
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't? What would make more sense?
I don't know.
You don't know? But in real life, like I like to tell you the truth all the time. That way, no matter what I tell you, you know it's the truth, right?
Yeah.
So when daddy's scared, I'll let you know that daddy's scared. And when daddy's not feeling good, I'll let you know when daddy's not feeling good, right? And the same way that I would want you to tell me, hey dad, I'm not feeling good. Or hey dad, I'm scared, right? And then we can help each other, you know, get through whatever is happening, right?
Yeah.
What do you think happens? You tired?
No.
No, you just yawning?
Yeah.
What do you how do you think people get anxiety and panic? Like what do you think makes them um, feel that way about the things, right? Like what made you scared of spiders? Did one bite you?
No.
Did one crawl on you?
No.
Oh. So what made you scared of them?
It was that they can become big.
They can become big?
Yeah.
So you got scared of them because you think it can do something, right?
Yeah, like bite you
Like bite you.
and spit venom.
Even though they haven't.
Yeah.
That's a lot like what daddy goes through, right?
I
We
protect Oleander, even though he's bigger than them.
Yeah?
Mhm.
Well that's good. And that's what we all want to do, right? Protect each other from the things that maybe we're afraid of.
Yeah. When I was at one of my daycares or like oldest schools.
This was before COVID, right?
Yeah. I think a pinching beetle crawled up my arm, and then I shook it off and then ran to the other side of the playground.
Because you were scared it was gonna do something to you, right?
Yeah, like pinch me, like with their giant like pinchers.
And but did it do it?
No.
Okay. Well, that's a lot how anxiety works, right? We think that something may happen, and so in our head we keep thinking about it, right? We keep thinking, oh wow, this spider's gonna bite me or spit venom at me or something, so I have to be afraid of it, right? And over time we get used to behaving that way, and that's our normal reaction. So, working together, right? We can be strong for each other. And you may be scared of something, and daddy may be scared of something. Like daddy's scared of bees, right?
Mhm.
And
wait, why are you scared of bees? They're so small.
Right?
And they help the population.
I don't know. They've always scared me. Like just hearing their noise scares me, and it makes me think that they're gonna come and sting me for some reason, and it makes no sense, right?
They only sting you if you annoy them.
Right. But daddy's not scared of spiders, right?
Yeah.
So that's how anxiety works, right? For you, anxiety may be different than it is for me, right? You may have anxiety about spiders and scorpions and pinching beetles, and daddy might have anxiety about, I don't know, bees and airplanes and who knows, maybe.
Airplanes?
Yeah.
How?
Oh, I don't like flying. I'm scared of flying.
So wasp just annoys you.
Right, wasps just annoy you, but bees scare me.
How? Wasp is the bigger jerk. One crawled it up in your shirt and then stung you.
Yeah, and that still
A
doesn't,
lot of times.
and that still doesn't give me anxiety. But I don't know. That's how our brain works, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some things make us scared like that.
When we saw the first part of the Attack on Titan movie,
Uh-huh.
I had anxiety of Titans.
You did?
Being in real life.
And do you have it now?
A little bit.
Oh, so you're still worried that there might be Titans in real life?
Yes.
Well, everybody I think has those types of worries. One of the things is, we have to talk a lot about things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that we can learn from each other how to move forward and not get stuck thinking about those things, right?
Yeah.
And that's a lot of work sometimes. Sometimes we don't want to tell the truth because we're scared somebody will think something of what we're saying, right? Like something funny about us.
Yeah.
But anyways, Mijo, I wanted to thank you very much for sitting with me and talking about this, and I hope that us talking to each other will help some of our viewers talk to their kids, right?
Yeah.
And then they can figure out a good way to let their kids know what they're going through and maybe learn from each other how to get better that way, right?
Mm-hmm.
So thank you all for joining us and listening to our conversation. We really want to thank everybody. And remember, if you have any questions or topics that you'd like covered, please email me at empanic2021@gmail.com. If you feel like you may be suffering from a mental illness, please get in touch with a mental health provider and get proper treatment. If you feel like you're in a crisis situation, please dial 911 and ask for immediate assistance. We are not alone, and I'll see you soon.
I want to
Tell them.
I forgot.
You
So
forgot?
never mind.
That's okay. Just tell them bye.
Bye.